glacier cut. 99% of the water is from springs that are on the bottom of this lake. It comes up to the granite. There are very few streams and a few small rivers that run in here, so they have very little runoff. It's a self-regulating lake. When it rains here for 3 days, it might go up a quarter of an inch because there is so much water out here. This is one of the largest bodies of water in New England, in North America, that is surrounded by one entity. The state of New Hampshire is completely around this lake, which means they have a lot of control over making sure it doesn't get polluted. Like I said, after about 1982, we outlawed any flushing into any lakes in the state of New Hampshire. So that changed a lot of things here, and I'll talk about that more as we go down the line. But the railroad was sold in '75. The state of New Hampshire basically dictated that they had to sell this railroad to the state of New Hampshire because they were trying to scrap it, and they wanted to buy the right of way because they needed to build a sewer pipe 19 miles all the way down this side of the lake in order to stop downtown Meredith, where you got on, and downtown Weirs. They all flushed into the lake, and that had to stop. Both the federal government and the state had said there's no more. They have to stop all the fluent in the lake. Because this is a big supply of water supplies, including the city of Laconia, which I will show you. And that was happening at the same time that they were pumping in and they were taking the water out to use as a drinking supply in Laconia, which they did for hundreds of years. But as more and more people arrived, obviously it becomes much more complicated. The lake does freeze. Deepest part of the lake is 205 feet. It's nowhere near here. It's about 15 miles away because we only see two very small parts of the lake. We see this 4.2 miles here, then we're going to see 4.3 on the other side. We go around this corner right here. It's known as Weirs Beach. And then we'll be down on Paugus Bay. But if everybody looks out straight across there, I want you to find that little island out there, that little sprig of land sticking out. That is Eagle Island. What's important on either side of Eagle Island, that water is flowing from the big lake. That is where the biggest part of the lake starts, on the other side there. And what's important to take away is Eagle Island. The next piece of land behind Eagle Island is Mark Island. The one with the lump in it you can see right now, that is Mark Island. And the distance between Eagle and Mark is about 4.2 miles, which is about the same distance you just went. It looks like it's right there, Mark Island, but it is actually 4.2 miles between those two pieces of water. Those two pieces of land. So that starts to tell you where the big part of the lake is. There are spots on the lake where you can go 26 miles in one direction, north to south, from Center Harbor all the way to Alton Bay. So like I said, we were on very small parts of the lake. People were like, I thought the lake would be bigger than this. You don't see any of it. If you actually look on a map, the part we have railroad track on is very, very small. This railroad line got here in 1847. This is a railroad line that helped build America. This was the first international line up over into Montreal. It wasn't the most efficient. That's over in Connecticut River Valley. That line still exists, and Amtrak has a train called the Vermonter on it. But we'll see lots of different kinds of real estate. That's why I like to point out those little cottages, because those are the only little cottages we're going to see all the way down the line here. The other thing to see is where Eagle Island is, that next piece of land to the right of it, where you can see these big houses on the side here, that is Governor's Island. Governor's Island is the most expensive land in the state of New Hampshire. The big houses are on the other side. These are the small houses, actually. But it's a private island. They actually control the entire island. The Governor's Island Committee. About 100 years old. Well, it's got to be over 100.